of water. We see the UNVTA in DOP limping, and at almost all levels we see most agro-industries limping.
Mr. Alu, it is your sense of value that determines the flow of virtue.
Okay.
I think we have a serious problem with the education in our country. I grew up in this country. I was never taught about any fertile place in this country. I was taught about shifting cultivation in the Ganges Valley of India, not shifting cultivation in Ekuna, not in Moyuka, not in Kumba. So I don't even know if
we study about the prairies.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
We're talking about the pampas of Argentina. We're talking about the Canadian prairies.
Okay.
We're talking about forestry in Sweden, fishing in Japan. I don't even know if the coast of the Buncha produces fish. Cattle ranching in the Maasai region of Kenya. I don't even know if cattle ranching works around whom. I don't even know if shifting cultivation operates very well in Ekona or Moyoka. I don't even know if forestry works well around Betwa, Belabo, Ebolova. I don't know. I don't know if at all something works around here. How do you explain that I'm a Cameroonian? I'm taught about shifting cultivation working the Ganges Valley of India. It means my mentality has been programmed in such a way that if I'm thinking of shifting cultivation, I should not think around my environment. So what was given to us took our minds. I said the telephone is the only tool that takes you away from those who are close to you and bring you closer to those who are far from you. I can sit with you on my mobile phone. I'm connected to somebody in America. We are talking while I'm not even aware you are here. The education that we have in this country took us away from our own reality. If our youths are not interested in agriculture because they know that shifting cultivation works in the Ganges Valley of India, not in Ekuna. They know that cattle ranching works in the Maasai region in Kenya, not in Wum, not in Kambe. They know that fishing works in Japan, doesn't work in the coast of the Buncha. They know very well that we have how do I put it, the pampas of Argentina, the prairies of Canada. And then forestry doesn't work here, it works but in Sweden. What forest does Sweden have compared to what we have here? What climatic condition does India have as compared to this place to do bush fallowing, shifting cultivation, subsistence farming? What do they have? So the reality of our very environment we are not aware of. So we have to go back and start from kindergarten and start telling our youths that
they are taught how to be historians, sociologists, anthropologists. We have to be the best lawyers.
Is it not a shameful thing that a Cameroonian can only discover agriculture in the university? O levels 10 papers, agriculture is not part of it. A levels 5, and then they go and say you ought to go and do agronomy at the university level. When it is something children are given from kindergarten from China on how to mix chemicals, on how to make the soil fertile. A child around O level is taught on how to make machine that will be able to extract corn from its comb. We have a serious problem. I'm sure God will help us, Mr. Liu. Because the generation we belong to, it has taken personal research for a person like Dr. Tata to fall in love with agriculture. Because if he was to follow his educational trend where he grew in this country, he would never admire it. There was nothing done that gave us the avis, the desire, the interest to yearn after agriculture.
Custom.
How do you explain that rice cultivation in China when Dopier can produce effective rice? So I know in my mind that rice grows in China.
No, if you take a vehicle going down to
apple cultivation in Greece.
From Bamenda to along the road, you see the rice farms. They're there.
Apple cultivation in Greece.
Okay.
Viticulture in France. Market gardening in Holland.
You.
So we know that market gardening that has to do with the production of tomatoes and other things grows in Holland. When in go to 2 years you can do market gardening. Tons and upon tons of tomatoes come from that place. They tell us of viticulture in Israel. When you can do viticulture here in my 14, that's the cultivation of flowers. They tell us horticulture in France. We have a mentality that viticulture, horticulture, market gardening, intensive farming, fishing is in Japan, forestry. so how do I start thinking that I can do market gardening in Cameroon? It's not there. So we have to get back to the place of putting these things, the reality of these things in our very environment. The forest that is in the south and the east is bigger than the forest in Sweden. Chinese people have left China. They are catching fishes in the coast that our fishermen were not catching. They have now brought hooks and nets that catches even fish that sometimes our fishermen will catch, look at the size and then throw it back because it's not yet matured. Makiro that used to come from here that had oil on it, they will now extract the oil and then sell all the chaff. So what is wrong with us? Our youth never grow with the mentality. One, when you are growing in those, there are 5 things you intend to do. Accountant. Even if you don't know how to count money, you want to be an accountant. If your salary is 5,000, you having the title, he is an accountant. Number 2, doctor. Even if you are earning 250 from Qs, you are a doctor. Lawyer. Even if you are a lawyer without any portfolio, you are a lawyer. That philosophy we left school from: professor, lawyer, doctor, accountant without any job is what you go. Almost every Cameroonian today is either a teacher, a doctor, an accountant, a professor, or a lawyer.
A nurse. Nursing.
Do your statistics from the north, right around Kolufata, right down to Lom and Jerem in the east. You will
How
find
do we shift this paradigm? How do we get many more young persons to get interested in what you're trying to do? What is the strategy?
Yes, brother.